just want to piggyback on how I'm closing. You know why? Because if there's any doubt about cash value, they should take everything out. I just couldn't help it. I can't say it, but it's on paper. So this client has been paying $300 a month. She had already put in $22,800. Look, surrender value, $3,320. I just couldn't help it. I had to put that on there. This is what my Lonnie showed that girl that I spoke to on last Saturday. And that made her question and open her, log into her policy.
So go through it real quick. So the policy, 2015.
It was issued 2015. The death benefit is 600,000. This is one of the two, right? This lady was paying two policies. She's not a client yet. She's thinking about it because it's a good friend.
Right.
Okay, so she is paid in because what happened was she actually funded this. Like I think she said she put in like 11,000 to start it, and on top of that, paying another $300 a month. Now you realize if you're in your 20s,
So she started with 11 grand
11,000.
deposit and then paying $300 a
a
month,
month, right?
which is 3,600 a year.
Yeah.
For 6 years.
All premiums paid 22,000 since 2015.
For 600,000.
You realize that for a 29-year-old, $500,000 for 35 years is maybe $50 to $80 depending on their health. That's it.
She put in 20.
22,800 for this.
And then what does she have?
Surrender value. Because remember, there will be an accumulated value and a surrender value. For IULs, if you do not know, there's a surrender charge. For Transamerica, it lasts for 15 years. For National Life, it lasts for 10 years. And they're never, ever, ever, ever educated about it. Because you know how we talk about disclosures? Disclosure. This client thought she was going to get $600,000 later, no matter what. And look, $3,320. So she lost like what, 19 grand? I said, let's just do the math here. You're in for how long? 7 years. I said, how the hell do you think that 3,320 after paying for 7 years will lead to $600,000 later on? Common sense. This is what I'm doing right now. I do, I tell people the full statements, and all I have to do is like, oh yeah. But the issue is nobody ever logs in until I say log in.
Yeah.
So you got to encourage people, because I always tell people they can say whatever they want on the kitchen table, on Zoom, but what matters is on paper.
Mm-hmm.
I said, in the court of law, what? Well, the judge will base it on not what he said, she said. This is what's going to matter. And I always tell them, look at the front of your policy. You have a 10-day right to cancel. I said, have you read this? 99.9% have never read it. The 1% read it, but didn't know what to do with it. There's like, okay, whatever. Because there's already a trusting relationship to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just backtrack, because this is what's, having people to pay attention. All right. So, like I said earlier, the reason I joined social media is because I was just getting sick literally sick to my stomach, knowing that these people are out for blood and they don't care. They just want to make money. Okay. So I joined this group. As you can see, it has 136. When I joined, just a couple, I think Sunday, there were 135,000. So these are all either nurses that are new here or nurses that want to come here, waiting for a visa or whatever. Okay. So I came and my cousin, who's this guy right here, says, Ate Sheila, you need to join that group, because so many people out there are like, just selling stuff, talking about things, blah, blah. And I said, okay. So this is all I said. If anyone needs basic information regarding personal finances, please feel free to send me a PM. I provide education at no cost. I do this because the majority of the new nurses in the U.S. that I talk to have expressed the much needed advice to provide. Thanks and God bless. And you know what? The girl that I was talking to last Saturday, I did not know that she was a member of this. Okay. And she actually said, you know what? people take advantage because we're bagong salta, which means we're newbies here. And it's true. You know, if you don't know, ignorance is bliss, right? When you don't know, then, you know, that's unfortunate. But when you know and you're still doing it, that's stupid. And you can't fix that. I'm sorry, you just can't, okay? So I joined this group, and within that same day, I got 96 likes within hours. And then now I'm getting a lot of private messages, okay? So, and I said, okay, I'm doing another, well, this is like later, but one of the admins said it's better to post it and no private messages. And of course I said, well, it's a lot of info to post. I don't want to overrun this page with such a long post. I typically do PowerPoint presentation, blah, 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 okay? And I said, spent 3 hours with their family, it was time well spent. Now, I must say, that family that I helped last Saturday, I did spend 6 hours. They fed me, they gave me coffee, they fed me, you know, chocolates, they even fed me dinner. But you know what, again, it's time well spent, because now I'm getting the referrals, because she knows that I really do care, right? I didn't know this person. I did not know them, okay? They were from Silver Spring. I played volleyball, went to their house, and then, you know, spent 6 hours. They are also buying a house, so I'm kind of helping them with their loan too, because I was like, something just doesn't sit right. So I sent it to, you know, my friend. So that's what I do, right? Anyways, so I said, okay, you know, I said, I'll post something on there. So this is my first post. As promised, for those of you already in the US, because obviously they don't know what the benefits are here. So I said, so I just gave them pointers, okay? I said, sign up for health and dental. Because I said, make sure you sign up. I know it can be expensive, but even more so if you don't have it. Remember, health as well. And then I said, short-term and long-term disability benefits. And I on purposely did this because you know how these companies are trying to make them get the living benefits. I already knew that was coming, right? And I said, if you, what do you want to do? And I just described what it means, right? Then I said life insurance. I said, always sign up, but I highly encourage you to obtain private life insurance. Outside of I cannot stress this enough. And then I said, I do want to emphasize there are different kinds. So PME, I didn't, you know, put our company out there because I didn't want to think that I was just trying to plug our company because I really honestly do care, okay? And then I talked about IRAs, like, you know, 401ks. Because what I have found out is these agents tell them not to put money in a 401k because it exposes their money to the market. And I'm thinking, really? Like, anyways, okay, but that's another story. Anyways, and like as of today, there was like 476 likes on there. And I'm just getting private messages constantly, okay? And because of that, I actually established my own group. But then, let's see here. Where am I? Oops, I think Calvin missed it. Okay, so this here, look at what it says. Please consider looking at life insurance for living benefits. This is an added benefit at no cost. Oh, God. Seriously? You know how much people pay for living benefits that they probably won't get to? And I did a training on the living benefits, right? So it does not only cover your costs, blah, 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 right? So, of course, me being the, you know, smart ass that I am, says, don't these policies indicate that if you use one benefit, may decrease or eliminate the other riders in the policy, also can affect your eligibility for public assistance. Are you referring to IULs? And she's taking the bait. Yeah. So she goes, oh, it depends, blah, 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 blah. So I posted that. I told you I'm a smart ass. But I'm smart. So it says here, potential candidates should be aware that generating a lump sum of cash for an accelerated death benefit may change the financial status and could possibly disqualify them from receiving Medicaid or supplemental.
That's good.
So you do know that we all pay FICA, right? If you have to, and FICA is Medicare, right? And also paying for Social Security taxes. So I said, you're basically gonna maybe get something, right, from this company, but it will disqualify for something that you've already paid for. So, and I posted that on there. You remember, there's 135,000 nurses now. It's 136,000. Okay.
Where do you get that?
Oh, it's on Google. I'll send it to you guys if you want. I'll put it on the chat. So, like I said, my client was actually there, and she said, wait, Here, this is the first, IUL sucks. My family, like, when I love the 6 months and you zero surrender values after paying $1,000. Might as well get a term and invest the rest of it. This is what I taught them, girls and ladies and gentlemen. This is what I taught her. And you know what? I did text her. I said, look, I just want you to give your 2 cents because I never had a policy like this, so I can't really, and I'm trying to protect my identity. However, this here right here sent me so many messages that had IULs.
Yes.
That was enough. One testimony of a real client. Because you know what? She also cares. And now she's probably going to join our business. Because she's like, I can't believe I paid $35,000. And she told me that they discouraged her to put money in her 401k. Because that IUL, that $1 million total policy for her and her husband, she's going to get that no matter what. Like, what? I said, then, of course you break down the policy, you go through it. And that's why they signed up right away. They didn't even have second thoughts. Because like I said, you can prove something wrong, you're going to get that sale. So know your products. Number 2, care. I don't think of it like, I like to make money, but you know what? The way I think is if I care enough, I can make more money, right? I can make more money if I help more families, because that's what we're doing. All right. So now, so basically now all I'm doing is I created, did I put that? I just counted and put it, but I did create a new group and it's called Bagong Salta, which is Filipino. What, was it there?
Yeah.
I lost it. Did I turn it off? Sorry. But it's a group that it's just basically it's a resource, right? For, just information about finances. And then, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to create a spreadsheet of, of all the people that have been sending me messages. And the first thing I do is I ask them, there was another, I guess Catherine didn't put it, sorry. There was another, so what I did was I created that group page and added people that wanted to be added, obviously. And I'm still trying to catch up with that. But what the first thing I did was I welcomed them, but I kind of talked about myself. Because, when they know that you've been a nurse, it's like, oh, you're going to be a nurse. That's pretty cool. But I told them I just retired. And then I said, and I got into the business because of the fact that I know there are people out there that are out for blood, and it's true, right? So a lot of the appointments now that I'm doing, and actually I posted, that's it, Bagong Salta. That's it. That is the new group. And it has 263 days. And I'm still getting PMs, okay? So, and I told them that I do Zoom calls. I said I do one just for basic info, and I said income protection. And then my second one is just investments, which I don't prefer products. I just talk about, the risk, time, objective, stuff like that. It's just basic, difference of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, very basic stuff, right? Not recommending a product at all. However, because of the information they get, it leads to more, more people to like, they basically have the belief. Okay. Matter of fact, the one lady that I talked to yesterday was the one that yesterday I couldn't post because she had COVID 2 weeks ago, but she actually had an IUL, okay, with Transamerica, paying $302 for herself, and for her husband she's paying $98. Anyways, she didn't have her policy with her, but I have copies of pretty much any policy out there. And I told her, this is what you need to look at, this page, this is what it means. So I basically kind of educated her on how to calculate fees and all that. And that same day, she goes, I'm going to sign up. Can I sign up now? And I said, are you sure? Because I just met them.
Yeah.
I don't know these people, right? And I mean, because of the presentation, like I said, like Jack said, it will sell itself because it's truthful, right? Everything that I have is on paper. So it's not like I'm making anything up. I said, anybody can say anything, but paper is always what's going to matter. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't sign her up, but she said definitely on February 18th, she's gonna put the app in. She's ready. And here's another thing. They made her sign up for the business, you know, it's a 125, right? And you know what they told her? And she said, well, and I said, so what do you have to show for it? She said, oh, no, they said that if I sign up, I'm good to go and to do tax write-offs.
Wow.
This is what people are doing to take the 125. And she didn't even think twice because she needed a business, right? And that introduced me to recruiting. But here's the thing. So I screenshotted on Google, like I said, well, because I already knew that you have to make at least $600, right? So that it could be a qualified business. And I said, did you know this? She goes, oh my gosh. I said, did they tell you this? They said, no. So people are saying ridiculous things out there, right? And believe it. That's unfortunate because again, they prey on people that they know are ignorant and are just trying to make a better life. Okay, so you know, I'm
I have a
using it
question.
wisely. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me disclaimer this first. Samir, who's watching on Zoom, said, let's ask Sheila questions, which I have a few in a second, and ask her now in group or on the chat in Zoom. Because you know Sheila doesn't have the time to be training everybody individually. We can have her come back and train on this later on the Facebook closed group. So when you are looking for a group to join, what do you look at? Now, obviously, I know you have certain niches. You have experience being in the healthcare profession. Obviously, the Filipino community is tight. If you are giving advice to other people just trying to find groups, like is it sheer size? Is it international? Is it,
So this one was just referred to me, right? I didn't even know it existed, right? So the way I look at it is like, okay, if people are new, like I said, to the country, they have no clue what's going on. They're coming from a place of, it's just like, although, you know, there is Google, but it's still different when somebody actually walks you through, right? But if the wrong person walks you through, that's, and there's a lot of them. Because when I went back to my post, everybody was liking it. When I looked at their thing, it was WFG.
now, how did you start your own?
So I basically said, when I said, send me a PM, so I just created on Facebook. I call it Bago Salta.
And how did you get all these people? Did you?
Because when I said, send me a PM, they all did. And they said, add me to your group, please. And that's from 200, you know, now obviously there's about 20 maybe that are already from here because, you know, I added all, you know, everybody on Team Busted there because my plan is if it gets overwhelming and they're all licensed, they can do the sales. Easy peasy, right?
Okay, so you started your own group, inviting people, they started inviting people, and now what types of things are you gonna post?
So the first thing like I said, is I said my idea, my goal is to educate, right? So the first thing I posted was, you know, I introduced myself and then I said, I described what they needed to do, which is attend the 2 Zoom meetings. And I said, you can't do number 2 before number 1. Number 1 is important to get to number 2. So it's instructional, right? And then the other day I just posted about taxes because, you know, people don't know that you got to get your taxes done. So I posted just information about taxes, like when it's due and all that, right? Just information. Then the other day somebody sent me a message about, you know, credit, right? Because obviously they come here, if they have no family to help them, they got to start from scratch. They have no car, they have no driver's license, you know, they have no place to live, right? And from my cousin's experience, they said that if it weren't for my dad helping them and pay the car in cash and they just paid my dad, they said the agency was going to charge them like 16% of interest to buy a car because they have no credit. And then I was researching and I found out that if you have a credit card abroad, right, in the Philippines or wherever, there is an international credit score system that can be grandfathered in. But if you got an American Express something, it could be carried over to lessen their to increase, to help with their credit score, so they're not being charged 16%. So stuff like that. It's all informational, really. It's not just finances. And that's where I'm building the, the credibility, because they know that we do really want to help them, right? And I'm getting tips also from my cousin, because I'm asking them, like, how did you, when you started here, obviously I didn't know the things that they knew about being a new nurse, because I got here, I already had my papers and everything. What else?
So there's a couple questions on the chat. But for my question is, of the folks, so you created the page, something that anyone can learn how to do, and you directly PM'd a few folks that you knew and it spread, or how did you? Because
Okay, so,
you didn't just create it and then, because people got to know about it, right?
right, so that's why what happened was, when I was getting this overwhelming amount of people, people that saying that they want to learn, because I said, I'm just gonna, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna create a separate group, because I didn't want to overwhelm that page about finances, right?
Right.
But when they saw that, and I saw that it was, it was getting a lot of likes and people sending me PMs, then I created that group.
And those people in the other group, I mean, those 100,000 plus nurses, they're like looking in the comments.
Yes.
Like they're actually looking in the
They're
comments.
looking at the comments and they're actually saying, great information.
Yeah.
I sent you a PM.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah, that's.
the good thing, with Facebook, even though they're not your friends, they can still send you a message. So I kept that, I didn't block any strangers from sending me a message.
Mhm.
What
So-
other groups are you part of?
So I just joined yesterday at Scrub Investors, which is nurses that, I think they're OR nurses that are talking about investments. And I just, yesterday, and what's happening is people are leaving their jobs to go travel. So that they probably have their 401k sitting, and Lonnie was the one who told me, every day there's a question about what am I gonna do with my 401k?
Amazing.
So it's Scrub Investors, and Wealthy Nurse is another one.
Right, but even some of your own personal ones, I know,
Oh,
like
Basketball.
your basketball, cancer stuff, right? 'Cause that's
Cancer.
another thing that's close to your
Mhm.
heart. Cancer awareness, cancer groups.
Cancer groups. I'm also in, it's not on Facebook, but I have a friend that, like, another thing that's close to my heart is human trafficking.
Yeah.
So I support that. And I also, pet rescues, like donating, like I can't really rescue, but I can at least give money so that they can be rescued. Like dogs are dear to me. I love my dogs. I'll kill for my dogs. So those are, because those are things that really matter to me. And I really think that, you do good, good comes back. Like I have a beautiful life. I must admit, and it just made it more beautiful that I quit my job.
Yeah.
I'm so much happier. And I know that it's not for everyone, but I was telling my husband, the quality of life now is, for me, so much. I don't get mad. I get mad at those people selling trash stuff.
Here's a question from the chat. Did you just randomly post that in the group?
Yeah.
Or did you post other things previously? Sometimes just posting, people get upset and.
Yeah, this is a good question. Once you do a group presentation, or did you answer it? Did you answer this question?
So that was the only thing that I posted.
Oh, they say
That
they
first-
say you're trying to solicit is what she's saying. It's like, did you?
No, I didn't, because if you look there, that's all information.
Yeah.
That's informative. Like,
That's huge.
being in health and dental, like I didn't even name our company.
Yeah.
I didn't say buy term, and I didn't do any of that stuff. But once I get them into the group, then the Zoom presentation will sell itself. Yes.
One,
Sorry. Is it, you can really solicit, right? Didn't the
No.
administrator tell you to post something?
Yeah.
And you received
Yeah,
it?
I didn't. And, the other lady was saying that, she was the one who said, because there was a long chat, but she was like, she was talking about not all, I said, I'm not selling a product here. I'm just giving information.
Right.
I said, did you see that I posted a company? And I said, did I tell you I was selling something? I said, I didn't say anything about selling. I just said, if you have questions, PM me. I didn't say, buy my product.
Yeah.
None of that is on there. So I did not solicit anything. But they found that the information I had on there was very helpful. And that's why, because it's truthful, right? So what else? But I did not solicit anything. And a matter of fact, the lady that I spoke with on Zoom yesterday, I was going like, are you sure you want to sign up? I was like, I'm not here trying to persuade you. I'm just saying that you gotta be informed. And she was like, no, I want to sign up.
So you're talking about your process.
Can you speak up?
You talk more about that process like after this.
Yeah, so once you do the group presentation with general information, Alex, you piggyback, if this is the same question you're asking. How do you follow up and set individual appointments? Or how do you put the offer out and set a one-on-one appointment?
Yeah.
Was your question the same? Okay.
So that's what happens if I do the group, right? And right now, sometimes it's only less than 3 because I can't get the time right? And I have to also do my other stuff. But what they do is they send me, I'll give them my number, right? And I'll say, if you want an individual, then we'll do individual. So then I do something privately for those people. And the one, actually, I don't know if I talked about it, but the other one that I had was a girl that I met there. She was from Georgia. She's a new nurse also. And, these agency nurses, when they're coming from another country, they're paying like $24, $26 an hour. That's very low for a starting nurse who has experience back home. So I'm trying to help cook her up to that nurse that's making $8,000 a week. So that's what I do. Like, I just connect people so that they can, whatever they need to do better, right? I had another nurse that was almost crying because her social security number hasn't come out yet. And, she's just very overwhelmed because she doesn't know anybody where she's going to move to. So I posted anybody here from Hamburg, California, and I just got hits for that. So I'm going to get back to her. And again, it's just because, when you care enough, it'll show. It's not like you're pretending. You know what I mean? And, I guess that's probably why I'm getting these hits, because it's coming from a real, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from real concern, sincere. And I tell people, I'm not here to force you to do anything, but, be informed, make an informed decision. So that's what I tell them. Other questions? So that they basically are the ones asking for a one-on-one after
Right.
the group. I don't even have to persuade them because, like I said, the presentation will speak for itself. I mean, can you imagine somebody telling you not to invest in your 401k? Like, are you stupid? I mean,
It's too much
these
risk.
people are stupid, but that's it. They prey on the people that are ignorant.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I got on the group.
The ratio, you dropped so much value in group number 1 that you had to make your own.
Yes,
So
I had to.
in the one that your is now your own, the ratio of the folks that are joining your group, what would you say the ratio is of people that you already know to brand new folks?
I don't know any of them.
Amazing.
None of them.
So whole
I
new
had
group.
somebody, okay, so out of the 264 that you saw,
Yeah.
probably, obviously my team is on there.
Mhm.
I have a couple of people that they can provide testimonials for me, but I didn't ask for that yet, I just have them there so that if they can piggyback on what I'm saying or whatever. So I would say out of the 264, the people that I know is probably, I would say less than 30,
Yeah.
or maybe 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two, whatever. 24.
And it
No,
goes,
I know, I know.
it basically goes value, provide value. I'm gonna do group meetings, and whoever after having joined my group Zoom, I will meet with you one-on-one. That's
Yes.
how it goes.
Yes, that's how it goes. Because I always tell them, it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's gonna be individual, everybody's plan's gonna be different, but and I told this to Samir, I said, but the main concepts does not change, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna be the same. People are different, but basic concepts are never gonna change,
Mhm.
right? Facts are not gonna change. Numbers cannot lie. So those are the things that I focus on, and it's true. Like it's hard to build credibility when they don't know you. Like, obviously for me, I've been in this area since 1995, and I've kind of built, my credibility with people, but it's hard when people don't know you and you start like that. But you know what? Honesty, sincerity, caring, those are, that's what's basically growing my business really. Because I mean, and it's not because I want to make money. Like, yeah, I may not need, but it's great to make money. But I feel really much better when I'm seeing that I'm making a difference. included.
Awesome job. Give it up. Great job. Remember what I said? Anybody have any other questions? Just ask her now. Don't contact her directly. She can't train everybody. But we will have her come back and do stuff and update us on the group. I'm interested to see. Don, will you have a
Yes,
question?
I want to know, where do we go to join the group?
So the group is on Facebook. You mean my group?
No, like, I'm just saying, just to get a.
Oh, so all you have to do is like search, like that group was like the four nurse, that these are nurses, and you're gonna, these are people speaking Tagalog or whatever.
So in the search bar, you
Yeah.
can search groups,
Yeah.
not just individual. I don't know. I don't have.
Yeah,
Facebook,
no,
so-
so go to, you know how you can search groups?
Mhm.
And then, like I said, I didn't even know about this group until, they told me about it, because I'm already like, busy, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna follow the line. I don't want to sign up, I'll just go to this group, because they know. One thing with nurses, they see death in front of their eyes, right? And that's why it's like, for them, it's like a no-brainer. They will always think that it could happen. They've seen people dying from from less than a year to old age. It can happen. People take that for granted, sometimes more often than I would like to see. But you know what? I can educate, but I can't make that decision for you. I can't. But at the end of the day, it is your family. It is your money. Your mistakes will haunt you
In your family.
for the rest of your life. Any other questions?
All right, give it up for Sheila. Awesome. Sheila can send some screenshots of her group and stuff like that. You don't join her group because the analytics of the algorithms of, Shondel's people will join hers, and then she's gonna be prospecting your clients and stuff like that. So it's not that she's trying to keep stuff private. It messes up everything, right? Like I'm on some social media and I don't follow other people in Primerica. I don't have them follow me because I don't want to recruit their connections, and it just messes it up, right? I'm not trying to do all that stuff. However, I will say something. Again, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll break set appointments. I brought somebody and I did a Zoom, and we have her on our YouTube channel, and she's a regional leader in Virginia. She already made $100,000 a year. Her name is Clarissa Fleming. She is an absolute social media, Facebook closed group wizard. And I brought her on, and a couple people from our office did it. They started their own groups, they got members. She goes into depth on posting, tagging, what type of content to have. She has 5 to 10 agents and makes $100,000 a year. I don't even think she has 5. All through social media. Now, we're just giving you ideas. Okay, like I said, I don't have a Facebook, but there's a lot of people that do. If this is something you can see yourself doing, do it. Take a shot, right? Try it. Join some groups, see what other people are posting. Maybe, someone's questions like, you don't join finance groups. I don't think you're going to be able to prospect much, but you could join and see what kind of posts Dave Ramsey posts.
Right.
So you could have the same or similar value that you're posting in your group, even if you have 20, 30 people. People are there for just community. All right. So you can cut the Zoom off. We'll see everybody on Zoom later. All right. Month end is Tuesday at midnight.